Hi, everyone. This is for those who registered for the 3rd of December 2024 soul contract reading webinar, which we had to postpone to the 5th because I slept through my alarm on that afternoon because I've been doing a very long healing session on somebody. We postponed it to the 5th, but then people weren't able to make it on the 5th. So I've adapted the last September video we made. I put a different ending on it to clarify what happens for the spring 2025 trainings. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And the content is very good on this one, from the September one. So I'll talk to you again at the end, okay? This is me now. This is on the, what date's today? Today's on the 7th of December. Machine running, backup machine running. That's running now. Everything's switched on. Okay, we're ready to go. Just bring up the chat there. I need it. Okay, people. So welcome to soul contract reading webinar. I'm Nicolas David Ngan at Centre for Conscious Ascension. I'm going to share the screen and we'll talk about what we're going to cover today. Just going to get the screen to show itself. Here we go. All right. So this webinar is all about how to help others transmute their karma into their gifts of service with soul contract reading training. And so I'll read this little form bit out because a lot of guys will watch this on the YouTube channel cold. So have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives? No matter how hard they've tried, as they're just too painful for them to face, as they lack the spiritual map of life of how to overcome them. That was me for most of my life, up to about the age of 30. I had no idea what was going on. And this free live webinar is about how to help others identify these core karmic patterns and how to go about transmuting them so they can deliver their gift of service to the world, that special thing they've been looking for their entire life. So I'm going to ask you guys why you are here, but I'm going to tell you why I'm here. Back in 1990, I had a profound experience with the founder of this work, Frank Alper, when I went to a 7-day training called the Carousel of Growth he was running in Phoenix, Arizona. And he took out a piece of paper and drew a Star of David on it and asked me for my birth name. So I booked what was called a Spiritual Numerology of Moses reading at that time. And he decoded my name into the equivalent Hebrew sounds for my birth certificate name and explained my entire life and put my entire crazy bouncing off the walls life into context. And that 34 years ago, he said, you know, you're here to be a communicator and a teacher. And that really stuck with me because I finally felt that I had a real purpose here, because I had no idea what I was doing up to that point. So that's why I'm here today, continuing to share this work, because I said to Frank, how do I learn this work? And he said to me, well, I'm teaching it in 6 weeks. So I stayed on for a Carousel of 2 workshop, which was 6 weeks later. And that's how I learned it. And I brought it to Europe and I've been spreading it ever since. So I want to find out why you guys are here. If you don't want to speak, or you do want to speak, you guys who've got the videos on, you can switch your microphones on the left, or just put it in the chat, I'll read it out. Just make sure the chat's working properly first. Sometimes it plays up. Everyone can just do a test message. Just confirm with me you can actually get my test message. It played up the other day. Okay, good.
I received the test.
The test. So Beth and May, did you see the test message? Did it get through to you? You just messaged me back. Okay, good. That's not those guys. Okay, so some of it works. So if you want to message me, if you don't want to talk, just message me and I'll read it out. Okay. All right. Dominique, you're the brave one. So why are you here? Where are you, and why are you here? Because if I know why you guys are here, I can help you. It formulates the way this webinar runs. Okay, depending on what you want.
So I am a newbie. I am a business consultant for heart-centered entrepreneurs, so that they can run efficient businesses their way in their authenticity. One of my clients is Merit, and she speaks very highly of you, and she
Ah,
introduced me to your work. I've never heard of this before, and during one of our sessions, she brought up your website, and I thought it was just incredibly fascinating, and I wanted to learn more. And then I saw that you had webinars, and so I signed up for all of the webinars I could.
oh, I see
And
regularly.
yeah. So I believe that this work will actually help me with my clients, because I focus on them being authentic and designing their business for the natural ways they work with operational excellence. Nobody knows what operational excellence is, and that's basically efficiency. But I want to make sure that their authenticity is the focus and not their business process. A lot of times it's the opposite. And so helping people understand their challenges before they meet me, can actually strengthen their their business and life and such, I think would be incredibly valuable.
Okay, sounds good. I used to run a management consultancy using this work in the corporate world for about 3 or 4 years, but it was a bit too slow for my
That's
liking,
awesome.
so I left that. But we would use this work to do the very thing you talked about there, to help businesses connect to their true selves, the true alignment of each of the principles managed in the management, and then realign the business to flow with where their souls wanted to go. And the result was pretty spectacular. The
Exactly.
businesses did a lot better. Everyone was happier. All the stick in the mud people left, and everyone overall who stayed was much happier. So it does work, and they made more money as well.
Yes.
And it was that everyone was with more grace and ease, with less work, more grace and ease. Teams were happier. So it does work. This work. Um, that's level 3 of the work.
So I'm very excited.
We teach 3 levels of this. Level 3 is where we teach you how a business is an external holographic projection of the owner or the principles. And it's a journey, it's a workshop. That's what we teach in the 3rd level. So that might interest you. So,
Yes, it
but,
does.
but back to the birth there, the birth part. This is the fundamental energies, the vibrations of our birth certificate name within us that creates our reality and subjective reality in each and every moment. And if we understand that, like I did back in 1990, then you can take control, take charge of your life for the first time. Not be at mercy of the supposed matrix doing things to you, but actually you're realizing I'm creating the matrix, rearranging around my programs. So if I change my programs in me, I can change around the matrix reaction to me. So that gives me a lot of power, okay, which is what this work is about. It's about empowering people to own who they are and then transform their challenges or their karma so they can become the best they can be and live a more fulfilling life. Because most people live pretty unhappy lives because they have no idea what's going on, which is why we have this work. Okay,
Very excited. Thank you.
so Abby, another brave one. Why are you here and where are you from?
I'm from Colorado in the States in the US, and I'm a psychotherapist and I do energy and quantum healing, and I support clients to shift and grow and become in alignment with their higher selves. I channel the higher self and support them in clearing what's no longer serving them and do all different things like that. And I incorporate this a bit in my work and just want to keep learning new ways to support the people I work with.
Okay. Yeah, we have quite a lot of yeah, we have quite a lot of psychotherapists come to learn this because and counselors, because you'll get the underlying structure of what's creating everything that's presenting to you, and you'll get to the point a lot faster. And it will cut through a lot of the defenses you have to deal. You're highly trained to deal with, because when the truth of who someone truly is comes up, the ego just dissolves because it can do nothing. It can do nothing to resist the truth. So the client
Yes.
becomes
And
free.
yeah.
client becomes free of the delusions of the ego. So which means it's more satisfying for the client, more satisfying for you, because you're actually getting somewhere a lot quicker. So a lot of my practitioners use this in their normal, more 3D practices like you have, and get much better results because they know where their client is coming from the beginning. So
Right. Exactly, and helps really identify the core wounds
Yep.
and what really needs to be worked on. And then that's why I love the quantum and energy healing, because then I can go to other dimensions and help them multidimensionally and really get to what I consider the root and create really lasting change. So I love all the different pieces coming together, and I just keep growing and expanding my knowledge to bring that all together.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in the right place. Okay. So does anyone else want to share why they're here, either a voice, video, or just on the chat? Just add something to the intention we're setting today. Otherwise, I'll proceed with the presentation. The more you put in, the more you get out of this. It's entirely up to you guys. Okay. All right, we'll continue. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen again. And feel free to ask questions at any time. Okay. Because this is your your webinar, really. You can go in any direction you like. So, okay. So how does life work? That's a big question, isn't it? So, and people ask, well, there's something special for me to do here. I haven't found it yet. And the answer to that question, which all light workers ask, especially, is that our karma contains our spiritual gift of service, which you might think is a pretty weird place for it to live, but actually that's where it is, which is why it's very hard to find it. Because by the law of attraction, we hope that we will draw to us all the good stuff in life. But actually what we get is the law of opposites, the one you weren't told about, where you get all the things you don't want. Sound familiar? Especially when you're younger? All that brown stuff dropping to you from above on you, feeling like a mushroom. Okay. Well, the reason for that is because our karma generates everything we don't like, so we get pretty clear what we do want, which is obviously not being a mushroom and all the other stuff that goes with it. And the soul's creating that with the soul contract, so it's hoping that you'll work that out and start heading into the direction of what you do want. Like, for example, you had a lot of disempowerment. I did as a kid. I really wanted to move out of feeling a victim and coming into my power. It's taken me 40, 50 years to do that. But if I hadn't had that very disempowering childhood, then I couldn't have done that. All right. And so the process of moving away from the things you don't like to the things you do desire basically transmute your karma into your gift of service. One of mine is to empower others, but I had to come into my power first in order to do that. So that's an example of that. And so we talk a lot about that with the soul contract reading work. So how can we help others discover that gift of service? And so if you're being drawn to train as a soul contract reader, you'll help others answer that question, the big question in life. Why am I here? Because we go to sleep, we fall from heaven, we disconnect from God, and we feel this is all there is initially, well, some of us, and that what am I going to do here? What is this crazy place called Earth, this matrix? So what we do, if you want to help others to understand what's going on, is that training as a soul contract reader enables you to decode the secrets of the blueprint of life for spiritual seekers who are asking that big question, why am I here? And that answer of why they're here is hidden within the sounds of their birth certificate name. And those frequencies were chosen by the soul upon examination of all its past life experience as the next natural evolution of its development, the next increment in terms of it becoming more unconditionally loving. And so that the birth certificate name is chosen, the family is chosen, genetics are chosen, significant relationships are chosen, so that you can have a very specific subjective experience of the matrix that creates your reality in each moment. Each moment is created by the sound of your name. It's in your DNA. It's in a substance called karmic matrix, which is a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional substance like grey cobwebs that sits in your fields. And it radiates out to the matrix, and the matrix rearranges around it. And then it attracts to you people, situations. You know how some things keep repeating for a while until you get it, and they sort of just go away? It's because the karmic matrix is dissolved, because the soul says, okay, Dominique, Abby have learnt that. Okay, so now we're going to do something else. And something else starts happening, and the soul's doing this very deliberately. So this work enables us to decode what's actually going on, what's contained in that grey cobweb karmic matrix. Because we can identify the karmic patterns, both physically and spiritually, that we have to overcome, that contain our gift of service. We learn how to identify and express more of our talents, achieve our goals, but most importantly, and helping people consciously identify and work through those issues can help them manifest more of their soul life purpose. Okay, the thing we all seek. And if someone can get to that in their life, it's a very fulfilling life. It's a very blessed life, and very few humans get there, but you can help people achieve that. It can take many lifetimes to work through issues in a soul, particular things, but this can accelerate it enormously. So how do we decode this? Okay, how many of you guys read the book? Put your hands up. Your soul contract decoded. Okay, all right. Okay, so I wrote that as the Lightworker's Guide. Wish I'd had that when I was 20. But I will summarize the process. So when you come to Earth, you need to go through this conscious gateway, the Star of David. And basically what happens here is that this triangle, the downward pointing triangle, represents the physical side of life. And we as personalities are brand new. Our souls are eternal, but every lifetime we have a new personality expression. And this physical triangle represents, for the first 5 cycles of 7 years, it's predominant. We use a 7-year cycle here. We focus on establishing our personality, relationships, careers, kids, housing, that sort of stuff. And between the ages of 35 and 42, the 6th cycle, we transition to the spiritual triangle, which is why we question what's going on. Some people call it spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, midlife crisis. It's because the soul's saying, okay, I've done enough grounding here, establishment. I want to get on with the real mission. And we search for real purpose here. And the idea of this is to build this spiritual triangle on the foundation of the physical triangle, if you've done enough work to ground yourself. That's why people change jobs, get divorced, get married in those times, especially. And within each of these triangles, there are 3 aspects: these karma, talents, and goals. And karma is a set of unresolved past life issues that create the negative context of your life, which you're here to engage with, turn into, and transmute into your gift of service. And we do this by activating our latent physical talents. And if it's a good match, in terms of quality of number, power, consciousness, and frequency of the number, it'll transmute it faster. And as the talents become stronger, they help you move to the physical goals, what excites you about life. And mine are 8/8s in this case, because I love connecting with people like you guys who want to know more about this. So the energy moves from karma to talents to goals in the physical. And then the physical orientation, then from spiritual karma to spiritual talents to spiritual goals in the spiritual. And this is more about, how do I open to higher consciousness? How do I embody the higher self, that wisdom? How do I embody that to manifest my mission? because the matrix is just like a big 3D projection screen. You can get nothing from it, but if you open it to higher consciousness by getting clear enough, you can embody that through you, then that starts creating a different reality for you, and a better one, hopefully. So if you consciously work through the 6 outer aspects, once you know this works, so you spend 80% of your energy on 20% of the things that matter, what happens is this is time, this is percentage complete. Normally humans go really slowly, say physical karma, because it's tough down here, as you all know. But if you have this knowledge and the right healing tools, you can go a lot faster. You can complete a lot of it much faster. So if you work through all these 6 here, consciously over time, and the soul will emphasize 1 or 2 of them the most at any given time, then it will shift to something else. That contributes to manifesting the soul destiny, the light purpose. And the layers of this are revealed to you of your soul destiny when you're ready. Because if it reveals things too soon to you, then what would happen is that you wouldn't engage. You might run away. Then the soul would have lost, the point of the lifetime would have been lost. Okay? So that's why it's really important to work on these outer guys, because then you're going to get the goodies, the really good stuff, which is the real meaning of why you're here. It'll unfold. Any questions so far on the process before I continue? Pretty clear? Okay. All right. So who hasn't had their soul contract worked out? Anyone here like to have a mini reading? Dominique?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Okay. So what's the origin of your name? Just so I know.
It's French.
Where were you born?
Ohio in the States.
Okay. So do you speak French? Your parents speak French?
Nope.
Okay. All right. We'll take it as it is then, as it's written. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to analyze your name and discover a lot more of why you're here. Okay. So you're okay with that? We're going to get into this?
Yeah.
All right. So we've put
Yes.
your current name on here. Okay. Whoops.
Now, I don't speak French, but I've met people who are from France and speak fluently, and I had them teach me how to say my name properly.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I have a French accent with. Everything
So,
else comes out Spanish.
but your parents don't speak French, do they?
Correct.
And they pronounce it the American English way, didn't they? Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, that's the way we're going to
Yes.
do it. That's the way we're going to do it then, because their intention was American English. And the primary parental
Okay.
intention is the frequency we need to work with here. That pronunciation is very important.
Okay.
Okay, so now, is this the full name? Do you have a middle name?
I have a middle name.
Yeah,
It's
what's that?
Renee. 2 E's and an accent.
Like that?
N-E-E. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the accent mark.
On which one? The last one?
I think it's the second one. Second E.
The second E. Okay.
So yeah.
But that's actually how it's written on the birth certificate. With the accent, or
I think so. I'd have to go get it.
okay. Can you just check that? Because
I can do that.
that makes a big
Yeah.
difference. You just check that.
All right. Give me 1 second.
I just need to check something here. I need to look up something. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen because it's easier to find what I need here. How are you finding this, Abby?
What was that?
How are you finding this?
Oh, wonderful. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Beth, do you want to talk? Or do you want me to make you a panelist?
Oh, hi. I was trying to write in the chat, but it wouldn't let me.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you want to come? Do you want to
I don't
switch
know
the video? Do you want me to switch the video, have the video on so I can see you, or you're okay just to talk?
Oh, I'll just talk. I don't really want you to see me.
Okay, that's okay. No pressure. So, okay. Okay, you should be able to chat now, actually, but just But what do you want
There.
to share?
Oh, I was just I took Eliana's little training there, and
Yeah.
so I might do your training in October.
Okay.
So, but that's
Your
all I'm
name?
gonna say, right?
All right. Your name looked very familiar when I saw you. Oh, I know who that is. I think I saw your name.
My name?
Yeah.
Oh, oh yes.
Your name looked familiar. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. So, Dominique, what did you find?
It's on the last E.
That's what I thought. That's why I wanted you to check it. So I'm just going to check how we do that E sound. So can you pronounce it for me as your parents would have said it?
My mom and my dad pronounce my name differently. So I'll go with my dad since he actually named me, Dominique Renee Vashris.
And what does your mother say?
Uh, Dominique Renee Vetrez.
Okay. Okay. So there's definitely an accent on it. Okay. All right. So we're going to make a slight adjustment in that case. Hebrew has a reasonable amount of tolerance for this. So what we'll do is we'll put an E with an accent. So that's what it is actually with an accent, with the phonetics. Renee. It's an sound. That's what you've got at the end, isn't it? Renee.
Yes.
So we'll try that. Okay. We won't put your birth date on because it's a public video. Do you have your
I'm a Leo.
Leo? Okay. You look like a Leo.
Yep.
Okay.
I act like one too.
You act like one, yeah. So it's fine. You be your natural self. Okay. Just got to get this consent date right. So it didn't work very well. Don't know why it's not accepting. Oh no, I know why it's not doing it. So try again. 0409 24. Okay, and that. Okay. So this is subcontractreader.com if you guys want to fiddle with people's names. And you can find out what it means from the book Your Subcontract Decoded. So we're going to view chart here. Analyze the chart. And I'll explain how we got the chart, how this actually works. Okay. Just got to rearrange these webcams a little bit. Okay. All right. So, got to find my pen. So what we've done, the principle of this work is there's 22 Hebrew sounds that would channel letters which have a specific Hebrew sound, and in Hebrew, numbers and letters have the same energy. It's not, these numbers aren't allocated like conventional numerology to the letters. They're inherent within it. So we have 22 Hebrew letters, sounds, which match 26 English alphabet sounds, because some of the Hebrew letters are used multiple times. What the software has done is it's gone and created the Hebrew sounds here. Like this is Daled, for example. This is Mem. This is Yud, Nun, Kof, okay, Resh. But it's extracted the Hebrew numbers here. You can see, for example, in your surname, the CH is one Hebrew sound, which is Ches. So the software has gone and found all the numbers, and it allocates them on the star David starting at physical karma with the first four. The 6 goes to the second aspect. 13 goes to the third one. 10 goes there. 14 goes here. And the 6th one goes there. So we're going around the Star of David. Then we go around again. We keep going till we use them all up. And then what we do is that we add them up. And the total, for example, here in spiritual karma, 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 20 is 37. And because Frank spent 9 months channeling the meaning of the 22 numbers from the soul of Moses, we don't have a meaning for 37, so let's reduce it to the first number between 1 and 22. So we go 3 plus 7 equals 10, which does have meaning. Then that forms one energy. It's called a combination number. But we need to get the smallest possible number on the right-hand side. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it's called a 10-1. So it's the pure frequencies of a 10, pure frequencies of a 1, plus every blend in between, depending on where you are in your experience of the numbers through life. In the case of a 6 here, physical karma, the total is 33, so 3 plus 3 equals 6. There's no other, we can't reduce it anymore, so we get another 6. We get a double number. So it's saying there's one fixed frequency the soul wants to work through. There's a range of frequencies with the 10-1 combination number. So we figure out all these numbers here accordingly. And then what we do is we take the physical numbers, place them on the top half of the table, spiritual numbers on the bottom half, add the two columns up to get the 50 and the 23. And then 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 3 is 5. Soul destiny, that we pop that in the middle. Okay. And then we also have a thing called a dominant vibration, where we have 4 or more of the same number. In this case, it's a 6. These 4 sixes. I have a little drink here. That's like an overriding theme in life. Okay. So Dominique, what's the big question you have about your life? And I'm going to give you a brief reading, a little bit on each aspect, with the aim of answering that question as best as I can in about 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, the biggest question of my life.
Yeah, don't hold back. What's the big question?
Why, other than like, why am I here? Why was I born into the family that I was? Like, I'm nothing like my family.
It's because you're a light worker, a very high frequency light worker, because of these 10-1s here. 10-1's about, the goal of 10-1 is to reconnect to God and fully into God consciousness. Okay, so you're going to be in a family who was probably quite disempowering. Is that the case? It seems a lot of issues with your father. Tell me about your father.
So a lot of it was with my mom, actually.
Yeah.
She has a lot of mental health and addiction stuff happening, and my dad wasn't able to contain her, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can say it on recording.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so this is a very disempowering energy. What was the relationship like between your mother and father?
They divorced when I was 10, so I
Yeah.
don't really know. But as I got older, I found out more about my dad.
Yeah.
So my mom is when she was sane, she was very strong, opinionated, educated. My dad is different. So he's a fixer. He wants to fix things.
Yeah.
And so I can see why they came together.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure outside of that.
Okay. All right. So the 10-1 represents the split in your case of mother, father, God. It was a split. I call it the divorce number. Now, don't get worried, guys, if you got one. It doesn't mean your parents are going to divorce or you're going to get one. But there's a higher chance it'll happen because it's a split in the psyche of the divine masculine and feminine. Because mother, biological mother and father represent divine mother and father. They represent how the ego feels separate from God. Okay, so in your role here, your goal here is to heal the wound, the separation from mother, father, God, created by your parents, within you, and to merge Mother, Father, God back together. That's one of the major things, because you've got 3 out of the 7 aspects. That's what you're here to heal, and to find your balance between the masculine and feminine polarity. Would you say you're quite masculine sometimes, Dominique? Quite strong and in charge?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah.
am typical alpha woman.
Yeah. So you're here to become move from the alpha male energy, which is what this whole thing's about, into more the feminine part of you. Okay, that's the journey, and to heal the split of Mother, Father, God in you. You would be doing pretty well if you can manage that, given this chart. Okay, so the idea is to merge Mother, Father, God together in unity, so you are in a balanced place. Okay, more feminine in your case, I would say, given what you've just told me. How old are you now?
40. I just
Okay.
turned 40 like 2 weeks ago.
All right, so you're right in the middle. You're in the 6th cycle of 7 years. You're transitioning to the spiritual. So when you can heal that wound of Mother, Father, God in you and merge the two together, and you can clear the ego of the denial of God. Okay, what will happen then is that you will embody your true self, and you'll channel that through you for the rest of this mission, for the real mission. That's the key thing you got to do here. Okay, it's complete acceptance, embodiment of God consciousness, and dissolution of the ego. But it'll fight pretty hard because it's trying to deny God, the way this thing works. Does that sound about right? Party is very connected and party is very disconnected at the same time. So it probably feels a bit strange.
Yeah.
So you're here to channel the spiritual energy to be a pure service to humanity. Okay, which is why you do what you do. Okay, you're here to serve first, but don't be tempted by past life misuse of money. There's greed and avarice in the karmic and goal issues. So the ego may want to go for the money, but you need to go for the service in your work. And when you go for the service and offer that, more people will come and you actually make more money, if that's what you want to do. Okay, when people feel service and integrity, they will come. And the 6 is here, karmic 6. Are you very scattered at times? Do you find it's hard to focus? Too many ideas and not enough time to do them all?
I'm not scattered in my focus. I'm scattered in the implementation of everything in an orderly manner.
Yeah. Because you've got tons of creative ideas. So what you're going to do is just know you cannot get them all done. You want to feel in your heart what opens your heart the most and do one of them first. Move from the idea, because the 6 is a convertible, not to take. The idea of this is to take the creative idea that opens your heart the most and step by step manifest it into a physical reality that actually is turned up, literally manifested out of thin air. And as you focus on the goal there, step by step, go towards it. Stay focused. You're going to get distracted. It's one step at a time. And each time you finish a goal and you physically manifest it, the disconnect from the ego here to the soul will reduce, and you get more of the creativity of the soul coming to you. Then you go and do the next one, which opens your heart the most. Then the next one. So very important not to try and do them all at once, because it'll drive you crazy. Okay.
Yep. It's exactly what's happening with this last 2 weeks.
Yep. And the 8's here about learning to ground, learning to form clear boundaries with others, emotional boundaries, learning what's their stuff and what's yours, and learning to visit them. Okay. You probably had to learn that as a kid because of what went on. Boundaries, you probably know boundaries.
Yes.
And you had to learn what a boundary was. Okay. And so you're here to actually go out in society and be a great success, which is why you do the consulting work. You have to be out there. That's why you're doing the 3D world. And the parents weren't there to love you. They were your training ground to claim your power back. It's what all light workers have, a training ground, which is our parents, and they seem like complete aliens, which they are. You just got dropped off. You chose them to train you. And if you get a bit of love along the way, then it's a bonus. But they weren't there to love you. Okay? They were there to train you. and that was the contract. So nothing's gone wrong. This is what was meant to happen, even though it was probably very harsh from what you've just shared. Okay, and they can't help themselves because that's the way they're programmed. Okay, humans can't help themselves at that level of consciousness. They will do what they're going to do. Okay, so it's very important to overcome the denial of God. Do you meditate?
Yes.
Okay, very important to open the connection to higher consciousness, because that's how you the guidance for this mission. It's how you start to follow what we call the spiritual signature, which is in each moment there's one right action that opens our heart out of all the choices, especially in your case, there's a lot of choices. Because when you open your heart in that moment, what happens is that, and you feel what the spiritual signature is, you follow that, okay? In this case, you need to move from the alpha male to the feminine to feel. You'll find it works. And then you just be still and you wait for the next right action. And if you do that, your life will radically change. Okay? It's about surrendering from the left brain, Western scientific approach to life and business to go into the more feminine feeling side. We just take right action based upon the heart. I had to learn that leaving the corporate world. I was on that, left in, how many years ago did I leave? 27 years ago, I left the corporate world. I was very trained in left brain analytical corporate analysis and planning and business cases and all that sort of stuff. It's taken me decades to then just to follow what feels right with the business. And when I do, it works. If I don't, when I first started, half the things I tried to do didn't work because I just totally in my head thinking about it. But now I just feel it, like this urge, I'm going to do this now, then it works. Okay? So it saves a lot of effort. But very much, there's a lot of creativity in you. Are you artistic, Dominique?
You say I'm artistic?
Are you artistic? Or are you
No,
more,
I don't think I am.
are you more business focused?
I like the creativity in changing information or ideas and transferring it to something completely different that still works.
Okay. Okay, so
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sixes are either very creative in business, very good at business, or they're very creative artistically. You landed on the business side of this thing, by the looks of it. Okay. The fives here, the reason you're here is this is like a fetus. Okay. This is something abstract and changing. You're here as a pioneer. You're here to speak absolute truth and to do cutting edge work, which is why you're interested in this work, because it is absolute truth, because it's channeled directly from source, really, the way this works. So do you get bored with mainstream processes when you're working?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to do the cutting edge stuff.
Emphatically, yes.
The really good stuff. And you must stay on the edge to keep yourself interested, otherwise you just say, can't be bothered. Okay. So you're a pioneer. You're here to offer a niche service, a niche offering to the world. Okay. So stay focused on offering that niche pioneering work, and then the pioneers will find you because they're looking for you. Okay. They don't want mainstream consulting. They're looking for you. They're looking for the really hot, good stuff, the latest things. And that's your offering. That's who you are. And it's about doing this with a lot of integrity, focus, okay, and moving more to the feminine side. You find you're more powerful as you head into the more feminine side of you, because that means you would have balanced Mother, Father, God, and they'll merge. Okay, so your personal journey of working through all these issues will then feed into the, as I said at the very beginning, it'll feed into the outer holographic manifestation of your business, because they are one and the same. It's like doing a conscious workshop with your business when you work at this level. Most people disconnect their job from their personal life, but actually it's one and the same thing, much more so if you're working for yourself. So the business is mirroring to you what you need to work on. But if the business is stuck, then you need to look at your contract, say, what's stuck in me? You unstick it with healing, like divine healing, which is what we offer at the Center for Conscious Ascension. You suddenly realize, it's unlocked in the business. So there's a direct linkage. Okay. And that's something to learn about, I would say, because then when your clients are stuck in business, that means they're stuck emotionally. or the name energies in their business are out of alignment with who they are. So if you get aligned to the soul and the energies of the business aligned to where the soul wants to go in the principles soul contracts, then the business will flow. And if they learn to feel from the heart, it'll flow. Okay. So it can be done rather than making it happen, as you guys say in North America. You can actually just flow and allow it to happen because it's already been designed. People's businesses, they just don't realize it. And by opening to higher consciousness, that divine design comes through and out, and the matrix rearranges around it. It's basically you just got to relax, open, chill, witness, act when instructed by spirit, and it'll happen. But it takes a lot of work to get to that point of surrender. That's why we need ego surrender. So it's very key for you, ego surrender. Has that explained your life, Dominique?
Yes, it does. It explains so much.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Any questions, anybody, about that? Or you're all speechless. Abby, do you have any questions? Comments?
I just always enjoy hearing it. So I'm yeah, intent. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think it's in the chat here. Okay, I'll continue. So back to this. So that's a taste of how it works. So I haven't met Dominique before, but I know more about her than her parents ever did, just from looking at that chart. So, okay. So here's what you can do with it. You guys are, a lot of you guys are working with people. You're revealing the spiritual map of life. You're a therapist, counselor, coach, consultant, or facilitator. You're giving people the spiritual map of their lives, and you're cutting through all the illusion of the ego, as I was saying earlier to Abby. And you have an immediate and profound understanding of their issues because you can see everything that's being presented. And so can the client as well. And when people hear the truth, they just say, yeah, that's all true. I don't like it, but it's all true. So the ego is dissolving really quick when you start to bring this level of truth out. And it will accurately guide you throughout all your work with them because you can see what's being created. Okay, so you're way ahead of what the ego is trying to do here. It builds great trust between you and your clients because they know what's going on, you know what's going on, which means everyone wants to get on with it. So it's better and faster results all around. Okay, so you spend 80% of your effort on the 20% of things that actually matter for this work. I mean, I used to hire people in the corporate world using this work. I'd only interview maybe 2 people for a job rather than 6 or 7. And human resources didn't understand how I did it. And I always got the really good people because I could see from their charts who was going to be able to do the job. So I saved a lot of time and money all around. So with this work, you learn a structure to understand yourself and everyone else in your life, both personally and professionally, from the training. And you learn how to give readings based upon people's birth names through interpreting the energies of the 22 letters of Hebrew, which we teach you all about that. So, and you learn how to your channel work. So this training is not more of the book, for those of you who read the book. The book is the best thing I could do as a transmission in that sort of format. But what we do when we teach this work is that we use experiential learning. You sit in the field for 5 days and you're completely immersed in the interpretations of the charts of yourself and your other students. We use friends and family if you don't have enough different numbers, because we cover the 22 numbers. So you will listen and feel and receive the transmission of each number, and you'll never forget. So you become the work, not know the work. It's not about learning more of it. You become it because you receive this profound bodily transmission, and it awakens the memory of it in your DNA. Therefore, it's permanent. It's a very powerful way of learning. Okay. And we support you with ongoing peer-to-peer Facebook group support. And we have also Zoom support programs. So what you'll be able to do with your clients is it gives people a deep feeling of peace when they hear the truth of their lives. Because most people feel like they fell off the back of a truck onto the wrong family, and it's just a big mess. And they see there's actually a meaning to this. And most people have that doubt. Something has gone badly wrong. I should have been doing something else. But what they're doing is in the contract. It's all meant to happen. And they can feel relieved that actually there's order and meaning to all the disparate experiences. And most importantly, there's something you can do about it. That's the bit people really love. We teach you how to target recommendations. So people who may feel like victims of life can actually take charge from wherever they are and gradually, step by step, change their lives. So it's very empowering. Once someone feels I can change my life, then they're underway. Okay. Most people feel like victims of the matrix when actually, once you learn this, you realize you can transform what's going on in your life. So what's happening when you deliver this work is you're showing clients the spiritual map of life. You're giving them targeted recommendations how they can overcome them, so they can manifest their dreams, move from just surviving life to actually manifesting some good stuff, and helping them align to their soul and life purpose and begin to manifest it. And it touches their inner being very immediately and profoundly because it builds a lot of trust with you because they know it's true. It's very hard to deny it. I've never seen anyone deny it. Maybe one out of thousands of readings. So you go very deep in your work with them. And as a practitioner, I mean, I've been doing readings for 34 years. It's still one of my favorite things to do, just to see someone awaken, see someone connect, and you can connect to others and have a lot of compassion for the challenges people face. So you spend the first 3 days sitting in the field, activating the 22 numbers, and then the last 2 days you prepare and give readings in the group. Okay? And people are amazed at how well they do because they become it. And realize it's just coming out of them, it's just channeling through them. So I aim that you can deliver pretty good readings after the workshop with some study and practice. Okay? So one of my major missions is to share this with you guys, to go out there and raise consciousness. So any questions on any of that? Anybody? Dominique?
What do you mean by sit in the field?
Basically, we set up an energetic container for the training. Every training has it. And the container is designed to emotionally hold you and ground you in a safe, very safe space. And then what's transmitted to you is an energy field of the 22 numbers, 22 frequencies of God. That's what's transmitted to you through each student sharing their experience of each of the different numbers, because we aim to get through all the 22 numbers with the students. Usually we do. So you're sitting in the field of the energy. You could be spending half an hour in the 22, another half an hour in the 16. And then, so you sit in the field and you actually, by resonance, become the work. That's what we mean by that. So even if we said nothing and just sat in the field, you still get it. But because you pay for it, we got to do some talking because you think something's wrong. Your mind thinks you're not getting anything, but you are. Okay. That's what I mean by sitting in the field.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone? Beth, you got any questions? Or maybe we have Nicole, do you have any questions? Put in the chat if you want, Isaac. Okay. Oh, looking forward to taking the training, October class. Okay.
Oh, how many people training?
What's that? What's the question? How many? Someone asked how many people? Didn't quite catch the end of the question.
I think he froze.
I think there's a freeze there. So someone asked the question of how many people. I didn't catch the end. Can you?
How many people are enrolled right now? October.
Hi guys, it's the 8th of December. I'm just finishing off this video. We had a problem with the 4th of September recording with the sound, and Zoom was glitching and locked up. So just to continue, the October 2024 training, we ended up with 28 people, had a great training. And we can go to 50, 60 people on the training on Zoom comfortably. Still give you a great experience. So just if you want more information, I'll just share the screen here. Okay, so the next training, Western Hemisphere training, runs 26th to 28th of February. It's Wednesday to Friday. We have Saturday off because the first 3 days is all about sitting in the field of the transmission, as we've been discussing, where you get to share your direct experience of your subcontract specific aspect or aspects, and everyone in the class participates. So you learn from direct experience of seeing someone's joy, pain, all the things that go with the numbers. And so you become the work in the first 3 days. You have a day off to absorb that on the 1st of March. And the 2nd and 3rd of March, we teach you how to hold the space, and you give and receive readings, and you'll be amazed at how well you do because you become the work. And hopefully out of that, with a bit of practice, you better go out there and help others awaken to this amazing work. So the training is timed to run from cover California out to sort of the Eastern Bloc in the Middle East. So we start at 12:30 p.m. UK time, go to 8:30 p.m. We run about 4 1.5-hour slots. So we have an hour and a half, 20-minute break, hour and a half, another 20-minute break, another hour and a half. Then we have a 1-hour meal break, which is about midday between 12 and 1 p.m. Eastern time, North American. So start time for if you're on the East Coast, North America, is 7:30 a.m. It goes to 3:30 p.m. And then if you're in California on the West Coast, it starts at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, goes to 12:30 p.m. I know it's early, but people used to fly for this, and this is the only way we can accommodate it because I can't teach P on 8:30 p.m. UK time. It also means I've tried it. This is the sweet spot, so we cover most of the Western Hemisphere. And if you're in Europe, it runs from 1:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central European time. So yeah, you get a very multinational group of people turning up. If you're interested in coming, the deposit is 277 UK pounds, about 322 US dollars, depending on the fluctuating exchange rate. The full exchange, including that deposit, is 718 pounds and approximately 835 US dollars. You can find out more at subcontractreading.com. We cover most things on there. There's a frequently asked questions section. But if you want to find out more, you can always click on the contact section on the website. I'll just show it to you. Just get this thing to behave itself. So this is the web page showing the subcontract reading 1 training. Explains how the whole thing works. There's a Western Hemisphere training. We also have an Asia Pacific training that runs the 29th to 31st of May and the 2nd and 3rd of June. Oh yeah, here it is. So if you have a question about the training, this little pop-up will come up. So any questions, just pop it in here and that'll go to Antonia, our training coordinator. Yeah, that'll pop up there. Other ways of contacting us are on the contact section here. There. So it's easy to get hold of us. Go back to the presentation. So if you're in Asia Pacific, okay, we can accommodate you. We once a year, and we run an Asia Pacific training, which is much more time friendly if you're in Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia. It's a growing market, we found. So that runs the 29th to 31st of May, one day break there, then 2nd, 3rd of June. So this saves you having to stay up all night, which is what happens otherwise. So this is designed for that, for Middle East, Asia, Australia, New Zealand. And if you're in UK or Europe and you don't mind getting up early, which some people told me they don't mind getting up 6, 7 in the morning, it's for you as well. So in the UK, it starts at 6 a.m., runs to 2 p.m. That's the earliest I can get up to teach. Central European time, 7 a.m. start to 3 p.m. In the Middle East, it's a very civilized 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Gulf Standard Time. India, 10:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Malaysia, 1 o'clock start. Same with Hong Kong. Japan's 2 o'clock start. In Australia, 2 p.m. start in Western Australia, and in Eastern Australia, it's a 3 to 11 p.m. Start. New Zealand, it's 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So we stretch New Zealand, so it covers the rest of the world basically. And if you can't wait, if you can't wait for the next Western Hemisphere training, then it starts at 1 a.m. Eastern Time and 10 p.m. Pacific Time. Okay, same information, same price. So contractreadytraining.com is where you can go for that. So I hope that helps, and that you enjoyed the webinar. You just contact us if any further questions. All right, thank you.